Live from the 607, it's the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour, where we're talking everything going on in the world of sports. Join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag ODPH, because here we go.
Instead of looking deep inside, every word I have to say, keep it simple.
Welcome to an all-new edition of the ODPH podcast. My name is Ken M. Joining me in studio, as always, you know him. He's the co-host. He's a statistician of the stars. He's a man of 1,004 aliases. His name is Padawan J.
Let me talk to you.
And boy, we have a lot to talk to you about in the world of movies, TV, comics, sports, and pro wrestling, and more. You are listening to a fusion edition of the ODPH, where we cover both shows in one because, well, let's face it, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
And we definitely want to make sure you're getting all the topics there. But in case we miss something, because, hey, we are human after all. Pad, where does everybody go after the show?
ODPHpodcast.com.
Right on. Go hit up the social media accounts on the page. Go check out the TeePublic store links. Go check out the blogs. Go check out the classified section, which has friends of the show, such as 3FM Podcast, Dragon Master Games, Nerd Initiative, and many more. Also, check out the directory. Pat, how many providers are we on?
We are on 64,563.
And your source?
Trust me, bro.
So wherever you listen to the ODPH on, first and foremost, thank you for checking us out. It means the absolute world to us. Leave us a review on your favorite podcatcher. I am told it helps the algorithm of the show. Who am I to say no? Who am I to say no? That's above my pay grade. But I know something that is not, and that's our fantastic music section, where you can check out such groups as Brian Wolf and the Howlers, Second Suitor, Tom Jolu. Got to shout out Tom always. New music on the way, I'm hearing, so super excited to check that out when it drops. Floodlands, Shout out the Robots. Definitely go support all of them and what they're up to. And if it's something else going on at the ODPH that I might have missed, ODPHpodcast.com. And if you're using hashtags on social media still, why not use the hashtag ODPHpod? Kicking off the fusion edition of the show, because we're talking about the best of sports and entertainment. It's obviously football season. We have to go over the locks and leaps of the past week of NFL action. So, Pat, kick us off.
We'll start with my lock, and I chose the Green Bay Packers to defeat the Arizona Cardinals because, hey, Arizona was without Kyler Murray on Sunday. Foot injury, don't know when he's coming back. It's, in the words of their head coach, too early to tell right now. So I went, this seems like a gimme. And it almost was. Packers won by the final score of 27-23. Jordan Love, 19-29, 179 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Jacoby Brissett got the start for Arizona, 25-36, 279 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Bam Knight was the leading rusher for Arizona with 14 carries, 57 yards, and no touchdowns. Josh Jacobs led the way for Green Bay, 13 carries, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs led the way for Green Bay in receiving with 6 catches, 72 yards, no touchdowns. And Trey McBride led the way for Arizona, 10 catches, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Well, all Green Bay needed here was a little bit of love. Played a solid game. This was very back and forth, but they really turned it on in the fourth quarter. That's the story of this game. Arizona, for whatever reason, just could not keep up with the Packers' offense during that point. And what else can we really say? The good teams show up and showed out. Obviously, without Kyler Murray there, Brissett's not going to run the offense the same way. I mean, that's obviously why McBride is the leading wide receiver here.
Yep.
But it makes sense, and it's not to say it wasn't working because they were in this game. But unfortunately, Green Bay is a better team on paper, and they showed it on the field. So this is one of those times that Green Bay showed why they're a Super Bowl contender. This was a gritty win, but it's a win they needed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, plus you look at Green Bay, the offense had a great day, especially the offensive line. Love only got sacked 1 time.
Yeah.
And then just in general, the Arizona defense was not great because Green Bay total fumbled the ball twice. And Green Bay was able to recover. Green Bay fumbled the ball twice, recovered both of theirs, and then when Arizona fumbled the ball once, they didn't get that one back.
Yeah, when you're winning the turnover game in that manner, you're doing something right. So
Green Bay 4-1-1.
Yeah, I mean it's good momentum, and especially coming off that tie, we weren't sure what was going to be going on with them. But it's a solid win for them nevertheless.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the NFC North being as competitive as it is, they don't really have any wiggle room to lose.
No, they don't. And you usually don't from week to week, year to year. And this year is certainly no different because you look at the way things are going in the NFC North. Green Bay 4-1-1. Detroit right behind them 5-2. Chicago 4-2. And then Minnesota 3-3.
Yeah, it's a very, very competitive division. Might be the best in football, to be honest with you.
Could be.
I mean, we did not predict this.
No.
We said it was going to be competitive, but it all depended on how Chicago was going to turn out, and Minnesota had a lot of question marks.
Oh, yeah.
But still, going into Week 7, this has been one of the most competitive leagues divisions in all the NFL, so... Yeah. I think you have to say that this is probably the toughest division right now.
I would say so. Looking at the schedule for these two teams the next couple of weeks, next week, Sunday Night Football, it is the Green Bay Packers at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh, Aaron Rodgers.
Uh-huh.
That'll be a fun one.
Then week 9, you've got home game against the Carolina Panthers. Week 10, Monday Night Football, that's a home game against the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's going to be a really interesting game.
Oh, yeah. And then week 11, on the road playing the New York Giants. For the Arizona Cardinals, they're on a bye this upcoming week. Coming out of the bye, they are on the road in Dallas on Monday Night Football. Week 10 is on the road playing the Seattle Seahawks, and then week 11 is at home against the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, hopefully they take the bye week and really heal up, because that is a rough stretch of games right away.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see if Arizona can really muster something out of the season. Obviously 2-5, you don't want to say it's over, but
it ain't looking good.
It's not looking pretty.
Then we'll jump over to one of my leaps, and I chose, boy, did I choose wrong on this one. I chose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to beat the Detroit Lions because I figured, hey, you know what? Tampa Bay playing good. Detroit, kind of, so-so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Tampa will catch them flat-footed. No, they did not, because Detroit won by the final score of 24-9. Jared Goff, 20 of 29, 241 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Baker Mayfield, 28 of 50, 228 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Rashad White, 10 carries, 38 yards, no touchdowns for Tampa Bay. And for Detroit, it was, well, I could give you 4 guesses, and the first 3 don't count.
Mm-hmm.
Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then for Detroit receiving, I could give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guesses, and the first 7 don't count who led for Detroit. Spoiler alert, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 catches, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. And then for Tampa Bay, it was Cade Otton going 7 catches, 65 yards, and no touchdowns. But obviously, which we should say, speedy well wishes and get well soon to Mike Evans, because yikes, that was bad.
Yeah, Tampa Bay really took a bad loss on their offensive side with Mike.
Laid a real goose egg.
Yeah, with Mike Evans now being out probably the season. I know
they're saying most of the season, and the one thing we do know for certain is that 1,000-yard season streak is over.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's a very tough loss for Tampa, but this really showed what Detroit is made of. I know we were writing them off with obviously the losses of their offensive and defensive coordinator,
right?
But they are really playing gritty football. They seem to be picking it up now with each and every game. They got a little bit of confidence with them. So it's a good sign if you're a Detroit fan.
Yeah.
And especially Tampa Bay is no slouch. But I think what you have to really give some flowers to here is Baker Mayfield almost won this game.
Almost.
I mean, granted, a couple drives did not go his way, reasons, but he's willing this team to play above expectations. And especially going against Goff, who is very overlooked because of the teammates he has around him. He's playing lights-out football. You have to say maybe he's in the MVP conversation. I think Mayfield is more so.
Yeah.
But Goff is playing very solid lately. But when you have Gibbs going off finally, and you're starting to get some of your other offensive weapons taking another level gear kicking in, however you want to define it, that's where you're really starting to see the success of Detroit. But once again, like we touched upon with Green Bay, they don't have that room to lose a game.
No, they really don't.
So they have to play lights out. They have to show up, and they have to really impose their will. I know today as we record, a lot of the social medias, or football media, shall we say, and even socials, we're anointing them the NFC champions.
Oh, stop.
Listen, this was a great win. Take nothing away from Detroit, but I'm not crowning anybody yet.
No, I mean, that's the thing that I want to bring up. I'm looking at the box score for this, and of course, the thing the box score features is the score by quarters. Yeah, Detroit put up 24 points, which is pretty good, and they'll win you most games in the NFL. But they didn't do it all in 2 quarters or 1 quarter or anything like that. Like, it was 7 points in the first, 7 points in the second, 7 points in the third, and a field goal in the fourth.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay held them in check. It's just bend, don't break, but eventually Tampa Bay broke a couple times, and unfortunately their offense couldn't, make a comeback to, save things because they only put up 3 points in the second quarter and 6 points in the third quarter and put up goose eggs in the first and fourth. So they look good. It's not bad. It's a good bounce back for Detroit. But am I sitting here going, yeah, pencil those guys into the Super Bowl? Absolutely not.
It's not like they face Miami.
Ha!
Let's be honest. Tampa Bay is a Super Bowl contender. I'm not saying they're winning. I'm not saying I'm penciling them in, but they are a contender. This is a very solid win for them, but I didn't go after watching them. I said, oh, they're unstoppable. They're going to run away with this. No. This is a very good team that's now finally playing up to its potential, but you have to get past Green Bay. That's going to be a problem. And then when you have to face the Philadelphias, the San Francisco 49ers, we'll get into that when we discuss their game.
Yeah.
There's some other teams that are emerging that you're going to have problems with. So this is going to be a true test for Detroit moving forward, but not one they can't overcome. But I'm just saying before we anoint them champions, pause.
Yeah. So looking at these two teams' schedules for the next couple of weeks for the Detroit Lions, they're on a bye this upcoming week. Coming out of the bye in Week 9, they're at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Week 10, they're on the road playing the Washington Commanders.
Bum, 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 bum.
And then Week 11, they're on the road playing the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be on Sunday Night Football.
That's going to be a hell of a matchup.
Yeah. And then you've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who this upcoming Sunday are on the road playing the New Orleans Saints. Week 9, they have a bye week. And coming out of the bye week, they've got a home game against the New England Patriots. And then they're on the road in Week 11 playing the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that's not an easy road.
That is, especially coming out of the bye.
Yeah.
Yikes. And then after that, it's the LA Rams. Yeah. Good Lord. So we will see what happens with that.
Well, it's going to show. I will say this: if Baker wins all three of those games, he's your MVP.
Okay.
Hands down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because he's going to be doing this without his number one receiver. His number two,
who
is not playing like. There's just issues on that offense side of the ball. So the fact that if he can win those games for whatever reason, give it to him. I mean, there's only other one person that I think deserves it maybe more.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. But I would say Baker is making a strong
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at
case for it.
I'm looking at their depth chart on ESPN.com. Bucky Irving, who's supposed to be their starting running back, is listed as questionable. One of their wide receivers, Jalen McMillan, is on IR. Mike Evans is listed as out. Godwin is listed as questionable. Then you've got Jaden Smith, another one of their receivers, is listed as on IR. You've got one of their tight ends is listed on IR. They've got They got a right guard, one right guard on IR. They've got another one listed as questionable. They've got a right tackle listed on IR. Like, there's a lot of red going there, and you don't like to see it.
No,
they're having to rely on Sterling Shepard.
Yeah. No, they're pulling magic out of somewhere.
Giants fans everywhere just cringed.
Yeah. But it's true, though.
No, it is.
They're finding ways to win, but that's what good teams always do. So you can't go wrong with that.
No.
Then you go to one of my locks.
Oh, boy.
And I had a feeling they were going to show up. I have a feeling they're getting hot at the right time. Albeit, though, the tush push was stopped.
Uh-huh.
Which I think every team in the NFL took notice about this, and you're going to see this happen.
Who would have thought Brian Flores, of all people, would have been the guy to figure this out?
I'm telling you, he's very slept on as far as defensive strategies go.
It also helps that they started calling false starts on the Eagles.
Well, they should. I mean, let's be honest. Eagles fans, you have to admit that's the case.
Yeah.
But we are going to be talking about the Eagles' win over the Vikings. Pat, you got the stat line ready?
I do, and I love these stats, especially as a Jalen Hurts fantasy football owner. So the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Minnesota Vikings 28-22. Jalen Hurts, 19-23, 326 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Carson Wentz, 26-42, 313 yards passing, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jordan Mason led the way for Minnesota in rushing, 15 carries, 57 yards, 1 touchdown. Saquon Barkley led the way for Philly with 18 carries, 44 yards, no touchdowns. Devontae Smith for Philly, 9 catches, 183 yards, 1 touchdown. Hey, folks, A.J. Brown finally decided to show up, and as a fantasy football owner, about darn time. 4 catches, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. Over on the Minnesota side of things, you had Jordan Addison go 9 catches, 128 yards, no touchdowns, and Justin Jefferson, 5 catches, 79 yards, and no touchdowns.
Well, you already took the lead on this one. The Philadelphia offense showed up.
Good Lord.
And especially their wide receiver core. A.J. Brown had a monster day. Devontae Smith, I think, had a career day.
Probably.
So when you have those two clicking, you're going to win a game. And Saquon did Saquon things, but he didn't crack over 50 yards. It's not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But when your wide receiver core steps up and finally shows up, you're doing something right. It also does not hurt that you're facing Carson Wentz, who I'm sorry at the stage in the game should not have been starting.
No.
I'm sorry, just that window is shut for him. I mean, you could say
No, you're 100% right.
You could say whatever you want about that stat line. I mean, 300 yards, yeah, it's nothing to sneeze at in the NFL, but 2 interceptions, especially one that got ran back,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, that decided your game, essentially. So, you know, you have to kind of factor that into questions. It was
That was indeed Devontae Smith's career high.
Okay, I thought that was.
Yeah.
But no matter what, Philly played very good football. Minnesota did not.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously with Wentz as your lead.
32 years old.
Yeah, I mean, but especially with all the injuries he's had on his back and
Yeah.
such.
Yeah, this is his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth team.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Listen, nothing wrong with that. You
No,
could
but-
be a journeyman, but how the hell you throw for 300 plus yards and no touchdowns?
Yeah.
With Jordan Addison balling out of his mind, with Justin Jefferson balling out of his mind, and oh, by the way, you've also got T.J. Hawkinson, who isn't exactly a Rob Gronkowski, Tony Gonzalez, Travis Kelce type, but he's still pretty darn good.
He's still good enough that he would got you some points.
6 catches on 9 targets, 43 yards.
Yeah, but the fact is you hit it right on the head again, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Over 300 yards and you got no touchdowns. That's a problem.
Uh-huh.
So for Minnesota, they're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah.
I don't know what. But for Philadelphia, you got to take this as a huge feather in the cap, no pun intended, and see where this takes you, because now are you back to being the team to beat in the NFC?
Right.
It's a great question, but I like the parity that we're seeing because there's a few teams that are stepping up and doing this.
Right.
So for Philadelphia, huge win, and then we go from there.
Yep. So for the Philadelphia Eagles the next couple of weeks, well, this upcoming Sunday should be real interesting. Giants fans look away because it's a home game against the New York Giants. Week 9 is a bye, and then coming out of the bye, they play the Green Bay Packers on the road on Monday Night Football. Then Week 11 is a home game against the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. And I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. It ain't easy.
No, it's definitely not.
And then for the Minnesota Vikings, this upcoming this upcoming Thursday, let's hope the Chargers aren't wearing those same uniforms from Sunday, because the Savannah Bananas called they want their unis back.
Yes.
They're playing a Thursday game against the L.A. Chargers.
Hey.
That'll be on Prime Video. Should note, J.J. McCarthy will not be starting that game because today head coach Kevin O'Connell announced that McCarthy, ankle, will be inactive as the Vikings emergency number 3 quarterback in Thursday's game against the Chargers. Also should note that Wentz is also listed as questionable, but he'll apparently start for the Vikings in against the Chargers. So God help us if anything goes wrong, because Wentz, McCarthy ain't going to be available. Carson Wentz is going to start. Max Brosmer is your backup quarterback. He is a rookie out of Minnesota. 24 years old, turned 24 back in March. For his career stats this year, he has 2 completions on 4 attempts for 29 yards. That's his entire career.
Well, I'm just going to say this. The LA Rams get the yeah. The Chargers get the hey.
Chargers, you better win that one.
Yeah, that's that. Well, we'll have to see if they make a move at the trade.
Yeah.
With the trade deadline looming, I think they're going to have to make a move this week.
For the Vikings, though, it doesn't get any easier because Week 9, they're on the road playing the Detroit Lions. Week 10, they're at home playing the Baltimore Ravens. And then Week 11, they're at home playing the Chicago Bears. And the rest of their schedule ain't any easier, so good luck, Vikings fans.
No, definitely not. I mean, Vikings fans are going to have to pull something out somewhere. I will say, though,
oh boy,
the team that...
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Giants fans, I feel for you.
I don't.
Here's why. For the first time in a long time, and I can understand this as a long-suffering Bills fan.
Hey, how you doing? First time, long time.
Yeah, when you get a franchise quarterback coming into your team and your team is showing flashes, not saying streaks, but flashes of brilliance, that maybe, just maybe, we're going to turn the ship around. And then you have what happened Sunday. And I thought the Giants could steal this one, and they should have. They absolutely should have.
I'll admit, this flew under my radar entirely.
But this game defines what is going on in the current regime with the Giants. And I'm going to say this right now. Dabble's got to go. I'm sorry. You got to make a coaching change. Now, I'm not saying right now, but he had better be gone by the end of the season.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I can think of one person who should have been gone already, and yet he's still employed.
Oh, the kicker?
No.
Okay.
Somebody else, the defensive coordinator.
Well, I'm saying you got there.
You'll know why in a minute, folks, if you don't know.
So, read off the stat line for this one.
So the Denver Broncos ended up defeating the New York Giants by the final score of 33-32. Now, you might be thinking, holy cow, that's a high-powered offense game. Defense optional, trading touchdowns left, right, and center. No. So after the first quarter, it was 7-0 Giants. After the at halftime, it was 13-0 Giants. And then after the third quarter, there you added another 6 points in the Giants' favor. Oh, by the way, Denver up through the first three quarters still has a goose egg. Mm-hmm. Denver put all 33 points of its total game up in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
So let's get to the stats. Bo Nix, 27 of 50, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jackson Dart, 15 of 33, 283 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cam Scatabo led the way for the Giants, 16 carries, 60 yards, no touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins led the way for Denver, 14 carries, 81 yards, no touchdowns. Cortland Sutton led the way for Denver, 6 catches, 87 yards, no touchdowns. And for the Giants, it was Wan'Dale Robinson leading the way with 6 catches, 95 yards, and no touchdowns. Now, I know some folks might be sitting there, well, there's a little bit of mojo, a little bit of magic, because before the game, maybe at halftime, I don't know when it took place, the Denver Broncos did honor the late Demaryius Thomas, putting him up in their Ring of Fame right with a bust. I believe it's outside the stadium.
I believe so, yes.
Right next to where Peyton Manning's is. So you can say, they had a former player looking down on him, gave him a little bit of magic. Maybe. I just like to call this, open up a good old-fashioned can of whoop ass.
Well, this is a fun stat, I guess, if you're not a Giants fan.
Huh.
So, reading from ESPN.com.
Okay.
Quote, the Broncos' improbable comeback snapped a streak at which NFL teams had won 1,602 times.
Holy cow.
So, 1602. Consecutive games when leading by 18 points in the final 6 minutes of a game.
Uh-huh.
So the Giants blew leads when they were up 19-0 and 26-8.
Good Lord.
Let that sink in for a second. And the fact that this all got turned on late in the fourth quarter.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that they decided to start playing, this is the Broncos, at the 6.5 minute mark, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, who had played very lights out up till then. In fact, a couple goal line stances. One amazing stop that they had.
Mm-hmm.
They were in total control of this game. However, they started having mental breakdowns in that fourth quarter.
So at 14 minutes and 8 seconds of the fourth quarter was when Denver put up their first score.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not very far in.
No. But regardless, you're up by that much that late.
Mm-hmm.
You got to close the deal.
Uh-huh.
And the fact is, they could not close it. They left it wide open for Denver to mount this incredible comeback. Granted, their kicker missed a couple key kicks.
Sure.
Especially when they scored late after Jackson Dart. And there's one solace for Giants fans here.
Mm-hmm.
Dart didn't get frazzled when they were down.
No, the offense was not the problem.
No, but the one thing is though, there's certain quarterbacks, and I'm going to use the Bills comparison.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain quarterbacks that we have seen that when it's crunch time and you got to lead a comeback down the field, sometimes, in my opinion, they have not risen to the occasion. They have buckled under the pressure. Mm-hmm. Dart was ready to go. He was fired up. He had no fear of this team. Now, granted, did he throw a very bad interception late? Yes, he did.
Sure.
And he owned it.
Sure.
Okay, but still, the fact that he drove them down the field and punched it in was a huge moment that you can really rally behind. Mm-hmm. And he was very energetic. The kicker came out and missed the extra point, so thus they were down.
Yeah.
Instead of this would have been a tie game with a field goal. The Giants' defense let them down completely.
100%.
In this fourth quarter.
100%.
And there's no way to define it otherwise. That let alone you put Bo Nix in the chance to win this game where you needed to make another stop. Now, granted, you could say, oh, we're tired, whatever, at that stretch. But still, if you were up by that much at the start of the fourth quarter, you have to shut it down. You have to close the deal. I'm sorry, this should have been an open and shut case, and they were done, and then we're talking a whole different story with them. But no, they decided to let Denver come right down the field and kick an improbable field goal and shut them down and take away a win that should have been, a defining moment for Dart and Scatterbo and the whole team because they played lights out for 3 quarters. It's just the fourth quarter, the defense did not show up. And the most crucial of times, too. The fact you gave up 33 points.
Oh, yeah. So I agree with you wholeheartedly 100%, and I'm pulling up some stats while you've been eloquently putting it the way you did. This is not on the offense in any way, shape, or form. Jackson Dart is a rookie, so, hey, he balled out of his mind. But considering the fact the kid has only got 791 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, he's only played in 6 games this year. So, you know what? For a kid out of Ole Miss, not bad. I mean, you look at his college numbers. He played 1 season at USC, the other 3 at Ole Miss. About 30 yards shy of 12,000 yards passing. That's not bad. I think he's got some promise. He's just got to develop and learn the NFL system a little bit better. So it's not on Dart. You look at the rest of the offensive stats for that game. Okay, you got Cam Scatterbo was your leading rusher. Okay, he's a rookie out of Arizona State. He's got less than 4. He's like 2 yards shy of 400 yards. You know what? That's not bad. He's kind of emerged lately. But when you look at his college numbers, he played 2 seasons at Sacramento State, and then he played the other 2 seasons at ASU. Just shy of 4,400 yards rushing. So, okay, not bad. You look at the rest of his receivers. Wan'Dale Robinson, who's in his 4th season in the NFL, got almost 2,000 yards or 1,900 yards receiving. That's not bad. Mm-hmm. College, just over 2,200 yards receiving. You got Daniel Bellinger, who is in his 4th year out of San Diego State, doesn't even have 900 yards receiving for his career. You've got Theo Johnson out of Penn State, who's in his 2nd year, 523 yards receiving. So considering the weapons that Jackson Dart has to use, they're not doing bad on the offensive side of things. No, absolutely not. Here's why I say it is, and I think you agree with me, it is entirely the defense's fault, and the defensive coordinator needs to go.
Oh, absolutely. He needs to go now.
He should have been gone Monday morning.
Yep.
Because 33 points in 33 points in a game, okay, that's fine.
Happens.
You get to Monday or Tuesday morning, depending on when the game was, you go, hey, last week was a thing. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to move on to the next team. You take the VHS and you throw it in the trash. But when your defense gives up 33 points in 1 quarter of football.
Yeah.
You suck at your job, and I'm sorry I have to say that, because you look at some of the other stats for the defense specifically of the New York Giants. Bo Nix, for the entire game, 2 sacks. Mm-hmm. Denver fumble. They fumbled the ball once. That was Bo Nix, but he recovered it. So, okay, not bad. But then you go over to the other side of the ball. For the entire Giants defense, 5 quarterback hits for that entire defense for the entire game.
Yeah,
that's just and oh, by the way, 0 interceptions on the Giants side of the defense.
No, the Giants defense needs work. They need to make some moves at the trade deadline. But I think more importantly, they need to go get a Waddle out of Miami. They need to get somebody to be a number 1 wide receiver here.
Good luck.
I know Neighbors being out the year hurts them. Hurts them badly. But you need some spark on that side because it can't be on Scatterbo. Scatterbo has played out of his mind.
He's played above expectations.
Oh, completely. No, but it can't rely on him.
No.
And that's the problem. You need something to offset it. But you're right. The defense absolutely needs work somewhere. And I agree with you. The defensive coordinator should have been fired Monday morning.
Yeah.
I don't wish anybody to be fired, but let's
face it.
Neither
do I when you give up that many points.
But in this kind of collapse, and that's the only way you can describe this game. This was a collapse. The fact that this happened, somebody's got to go.
Yep.
And they need to retool quickly because now you got the rematch against Philadelphia coming up this week. And can lightning strike twice? I don't know. After seeing that game, I don't know.
If I'm betting on the Philly Giants game, I'm taking the over.
Yeah.
That's all I know. So for these 2 teams the next couple of weeks, for the Denver Broncos, this upcoming Sunday, they will be at home against the Dallas Cowboys. Week 9, they're on the road playing the Old Texas two-step because they're playing the Houston Texans. Week 10, at home on Thursday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders. Then Week 11, they're at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. So that'll be a couple interesting weeks for them.
Not a great stretch, but that's something that if this team is really a contender. I mean, being 5-2 is nothing to sneeze about.
No.
But we have to really see what this team's made of.
For the Giants, it don't get any easier. And Giants fans, maybe you're glad the Knicks are starting up here very soon. Maybe you're mixed on the Rangers right now because the Giants schedule, it ain't looking pretty. As Ken alluded to, they've got the Philadelphia Eagles this upcoming Sunday. Week 9, they have a home game against the San Francisco 49ers. Week 10 is on the road playing the Chicago Bears, and then Week 11 is at home playing the Green Bay Packers. I'll run through the rest because it is a brutal stretch that I've seen in quite some time. After the Green Bay game, Week 12, they're on the road playing the Detroit Lions.
Ooh.
Week 13 is on the road playing the New England Patriots on Monday Night Football. Yeah, they got to go to New England on December 1st.
Good luck.
Yeah, have fun. Bye week in Week 14. They come out of the bye week with a home game against the Washington Commanders. Week 16 is a home game against the Minnesota Vikings. And then Week 17 is on the road playing the Las Vegas Raiders. And then Week 18 is a home game against the Dallas Cowboys.
Possible 3 wins out of that stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Jalen Daniels not playing for Washington because his hamstring. That might be one that they could sneak away. Chicago, but I don't think they take Philly. I don't doubt the 49ers right now because even
49ers, it don't matter who's quarterbacking them, they'll beat them.
That's the whole thing. The 49ers are just a whole different entity. It's all itself. But then to go against Detroit and Green Bay, I mean, that is going to be a test, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're asking me my opinion, I don't think they win any of that, and I think Dabble's going to be on the hot seat as soon as the season's done. I think he has to be at this stage because you've been given chances. Granted, they had a great draft, but that defense is absolutely stealing anything away from you.
100%. So then we go around the rest of the league and looking at the Thursday game with the battle of the 82 or 83-year-old quarterbacks.
Oh, my
whatever
God.
It is. Yeah. The Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 33-31.
You know, what year is it? That's the only thing I could say with this game.
About circa 2006, 2007?
This was wild, a completely bad loss for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco found the fountain of youth somewhere.
Apparently.
And you know what? It helps my fantasy team because Jamar Chase is on it, and he actually has stat line this week. So.
16 for 161.
Yeah, so I'm okay with it, but just kind of interesting that the Joe Flacco of old showed up instead of just old Joe Flacco.
Then you had the early Sunday game that was over in London, and the L.A. Rams decided to spoil the Cons' return home with the Jacksonville Jaguars, beating with the Rams winning 35-7.
If you ask me right now who's the NFC contender, who's going to go to the Super Bowl, it's the Rams.
Probably.
The Rams are playing so deceptive and under the radar right now. Nobody's really talking about
So
them.
the stat line isn't sexy, but it's working.
Yeah, it's working. Stafford is putting on he's making a run for MVP too. Like we talk about that. He's in that conversation.
Then the Chicago Bears beat the New Orleans Saints 26-14.
Hey, we said give Ben Johnson some time, and then look what he's doing out there. So, good win for the Bears. Very good win.
Oh, boy. Then you had the Cleveland Browns defeat Tua turn the ball over, and Tua Tagovailoa, and the Miami Dolphins 31-6.
Okay.
Dear Mike McDaniels, if the Dolphins head front office offers to take you to the Florida Everglades, say no. You might disappear.
Okay, so let me take my bias of Miami out of this. Because being a part of Bill's Mafia, you have this.
Inherently.
Yes. This is the reason Mike McDaniels is gone. This game right here.
Has to be.
If he is still head coach by Sunday, I'm going to call it a minor miracle. Because this team is bad all around. They've checked out mentally. You can tell they have checked out mentally. And you can say whatever you want about Tua and calling out his teammates. At least he was trying to make it, a rallying point. This team has quit on themselves. They do not care.
Yep.
They are literally going in here, and they had no spark to them. They don't want to play for McDaniels. McDaniels, I think he just wants out. His press conference after the game kind of solidified that in my mind.
Yep.
Because he was talking in circles.
Yep. I mean, even on the Cleveland side of things, Gabriel didn't have that sexy of a game. 116 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Their entire offense, because you look at the receiving, Harold Fannin Jr., 4 for 36. Jamari Thrash, who?
Yeah.
1 for 23. Jerry Jeudy, okay, there's a name I've heard of. 2 for 17. So it's like their entire offense on the Cleveland side of things was Quinshawn Judkins. 25 carries, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not the best average, 3.4, but hey, it's effective at the end of the day. But you look at the entire Miami side of things. Okay, Tua, 12 for 23, 100 yards passing, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I'll leave the rushing for last because that's probably the only highlight they had of the game. For receiving, their leading receiver was D. Eskridge, 2 catches for 45 yards. Then you have Malik Washington, 5 for 30, no touchdowns. Tanner Connor went 1 for 28. Nick Westbrook-Akine, 3 for 16. Devon Akane, 3 for 16. You notice I haven't said anybody yet?
Yeah, you haven't said Waddle.
Jalen Waddle, 1 for 15.
Boo.
4 targets. Ollie Gordon II, 1 for 2. And then Julian Hill, 1 for 1. Well, that's not 1 for 1 catch, which it's not. It's 1 for 2 targets. It's 1 catch for 1 yard. That's their entire receiving line in the stat line. The only highlight they had of the game, Akane actually had a somewhat decent rushing game. 13 carries, 82 yards, no touchdowns. They averaged 6.3 yards a carry. So that's not bad, but that's like the only thing Miami has going for them.
This team is awful. This team is literally the worst team in football.
Trade everybody.
I'm even going to say they're worse than the Jets. I'm going to say it right now. I mean,
it's close.
But here's the thing. At least the Jets are not throwing everybody under the bus.
True.
The Jets have been bad.
They've had glimpses.
They've had glimpses. I mean, the only thing you can say is maybe the Breece Hall Instagram, whatever you want to define that nonsense with. I don't really pay too much attention to it.
Yeah.
But in comparison, Miami's making sound clips of how dysfunctional this team is.
Yeah.
If I am the Miami GM, I am blowing this team up right now. I am on the phone. Who do you want? Reload and worry about next season because this team's a wash.
Thank God Miami fans have got the Heat season starting soon.
Yeah, well, this season's a wash. So
100%.
what else can you say?
Then you want to talk about open up a can. Holy smokes. The Kansas City Chiefs did on the Las Vegas Raiders 31-0. My favorite moment of this game, Mahomes trying to call or catch the Raiders defense offsides and being caught on the mic as saying that this bleep never works.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite part of the game.
Chiefs are turning it on at the right times. I know they got Rashid Rice back.
Yep. 7 catches, 42 yards.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No, definitely not bad. So they really wanted to make this a statement game, and they did because the Raiders always show up for this, but they did not show up today.
True.
Geno Smith had an atrocious day. I mean, 67 yards on 16 attempts. Not great. Genty, 21 yards.
Yeah, it was not great for my fantasy team.
No. So there is some problems going on. So I don't really have a great answer for Raiders fans. I really don't.
Nope.
But Kansas City is making a climb out of last place here, and you know, for the rough start of the season, they seem like they're turning it on now, which we'll have to wait and see how this sustains.
You mentioned the Jets a little bit ago. Well, it's time to talk about them because the Carolina Panthers beat the New York Jets 13-6.
Well, I mean, what else can you really say?
I can read you the quote from Jets owner Woody Johnson, and this is via Albert Breer of Monday Morning Quarterback. Quote, "If we could just complete a pass, it would look good." Close quote.
Well, I mean, he's got to be right. He there's nothing he said wrong there. Nope. Their team is just not clicking. The Justin Fields experiment is not working. I am shocked by that. I thought he would be a spark for this team. He is not. Tyrod is going to do what he can do. He will win them some games.
Tyrod for the game, 10 for 22, 126 yards passing, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Right, but at least he's going to give them some spark. Him and Breece Hall, that's going to be all they have.
Yeah, but Breece Hall ain't doing much either this year. 11 carries, 38 yards. I mean, the crazy thing with the Jets is I believe, if I saw the stat correctly, this is the first time in NFL history the same team has lost back-to-back games with their opponent scoring the same number of points in both weeks. Denver beat them 13-11 last week. Carolina beat them 13-6 this week.
Interesting.
It's just absolutely bizarre. But like you said, the Justin Fields experiment, not working.
No.
Stats for the season, 845 yards passing. He's good, which is good for 30th in the NFL. 4 touchdowns, which is tied for 31st in the NFL. Hey, no interceptions, which is tied for first. His QBR, though, 31.8, which is 31st in the NFL.
Like I say, this is one of the biggest surprises to me, and not in a good sense.
Yeah.
I thought the Jets played a lot better. But what I give them the edge is over Miami, they're not throwing everybody under the bus. Their owner can be mad. I give them,
sure.
like, listen, If I'm paying X amount of millions of dollars,
Sure.
yeah, I can be mad.
Sure.
But it's not like their quarterback is throwing everybody else under the bus. It's not like somebody's getting called out.
I didn't expect much out of Justin Fields just because you look at who he's got to work with on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
There ain't much, but I was expecting something more than this.
No, there should have been something more, but he's checked out. I'm sorry. It's a wrap for him, too.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens the next week. Maybe they'll start Tyrod. Who knows?
Yeah.
Then you had the Indianapolis Colts beat the Savannah Bananas. Sorry, the LA Chargers. 38-24. Listen, I keep making the joke. I would just like to know who, probably the marketing department, decided those Chargers jerseys were a good idea.
Unless they're the classic teal blues.
Ooh, those are clean.
Yeah.
Those are clean.
Those are clean.
Those are clean.
Anything else I don't want to see. I'm serious. I just don't. We talked about MVPs. Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes, baby.
Listen, what did I say at the beginning of the season? You give him an offensive line and see what he could do. And
one sack this game.
He's showing that he can do it. Well, like I say, the Colts have the best offensive line in all of football.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
So you're giving him time, and he's actually producing. So not shocked by this. The Chargers, I am.
Herbert, 420 yards and a loss.
But but this is typical Chargers football.
True.
That's why they don't get the they get the hey.
True.
Because they're just so puzzling. So if I'm the Chargers, I am making a trade right now to the Jets or Miami. Go get a running back.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing here, and it's showing.
Yeah.
The Colts are except their wide receiver core, because I don't think, in my opinion, they got a real true number one. But when you got Jonathan Taylor, who's taking so much pressure off Danny Dimes, Dimes is making stuff happen, and especially spreading the ball around. So
yeah.
I'm not saying it's Manning-esque, but I'm just saying this. Colts fans, you have a lot to be excited about.
Absolutely. Then you had the Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Commanders 44-22.
Jesus. I'm sorry. This is the only thing I can say about this game, because I thought the Commanders were going to play better.
Well,
I understand Daniels got hurt.
Well, Daniels got hurt, and they were down at least their two starting wide receivers.
Yeah, but for 44 points.
Yeah.
Their secondary had no answer for CeeDee Lamb, who returned for 110 and 1
with 5 catches.
Yeah, I'm
Randy
sorry.
Moss on Thanksgiving type numbers.
Yeah, the fact this game was even a game at halftime when it was 27-15, I call it a minor miracle. But the Cowboys are rolling. I mean, could they get hot at the right time? Maybe. I'm hearing that they might be looking to upgrade that defense too with a trade. I don't know.
The rumor is they called Vegas about Max Crosby.
Yeah, see, that's tough, because if the Raiders don't think they're going to contend for a couple seasons, for whatever reason,
yeah,
I'd make a deal.
Sure.
I'd hate losing Crosby, but if you can get some real value,
yeah,
I would do it. Like if they decided to mortgage their picks for the next couple seasons, you have to look at it. And that's why I say Crosby, I would not doubt he gets moved. Now where, I don't know. Dallas is in that conversation. I would love to see him in Buffalo. I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not.
But you have to think about a team that's just a piece away from really doing something. And Dallas, listen, love them or hate them, they are. Their running back situation is getting better.
Yeah.
But I think if they can lock up that defense a little better, that could be a big move for them. And they could make some noise if they get in the playoffs. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're going to win it all, but they could make some noise.
Then you had the San Francisco 49ers defeat the Atlanta Falcons, 20-10 on Sunday Night Football.
I don't even know who's on this team anymore because everybody's hurt, but they're finding ways to win.
Yeah, no, they are.
That's why I say this testament to the best GM in all of football, and that's John Lynch. He knows how to find diamonds in the rough like nobody else.
Pretty much.
And the fact that he is pulling it off with this team with all the injuries that they have had, Mac Jones is looking like a comparable quarterback. Granted, you have Christian McCaffrey, so if he is healthy.
Also, your offensive coordinator is not a defensive guy.
Yeah. You can pull off some stuff. George Kittle returned, even though 0 for 0 on 2 targets.
Yeah.
Killed me on fantasy, but I still won my games, so it's okay. But if he's in that lineup, that takes pressure off McCaffrey. And that's huge. Everybody else is just a compliment to that right there. And I'm sorry, this is the Atlanta team that Buffalo should have beat the week prior.
Yeah.
This is who they are. So the fact that the 49ers are doing this, they're a team too. If they get healthy late in the season and they can sneak in those playoffs, they're going to be a problem for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So a big win for them. Like I say, I don't sleep on what the work John Lynch is doing. This is why he's executive of the year every year in my eyes.
Pretty much. Then you had the other Monday Night Football game because we talked about the first one, where the Seattle Seahawks beat the Houston Texans 27-19.
Houston's not good.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They're not. I hate saying I think C.J. Stroud has been exposed, but I think he's been exposed.
23 of 49, 229, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Yeah, this team does not have any kind of energy to it. And the fact Seattle punched him in the mouth, I mean, they played smash mouth football with him. And their running backs, if they're healthy, they're doing good. So this went kind of how I thought it was going to go with them.
Yeah.
So, but Seattle, once again, we talk about sleeper teams that can make some noise. I mean, the NFC West is one of the toughest divisions too, because you think about it, Seattle's 5-2,
Yep.
49ers are 5-2, the Rams are 5-2,
Yep.
Arizona's there.
Yep.
I mean, but still, between those three teams, like that could be a division between them and the North.
Yeah.
You might see 6 teams come out of the playoffs from each of those squads.
Could be. We got one more game to talk about, though. And that was my beloved New England Patriots, who went on the road, which I got to admit, this was my other lock. I was nervous to do it because I typically don't like to because it usually bites me in the ass. But I decided, you know what? Tennessee fired their head coach, who came in to replace Mike Vrabel because the owner decided to get rid of Mike Vrabel. Thanks. I appreciate that. So a little bit of a revenge game, a little bit of soundbite clips, especially the one reporter asking Vrabel if he had any memories or collectibles from his Tennessee days, and he's like, yeah, the Goodwill down on 8th Avenue probably has a few of them. But New England came in and beat the Tennessee Titans 31-13. Drake May 21-23, 222 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Cam Ward 25 of 34, 255 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tyjae Spears 5 carries, 22 yards, no touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson, 18 carries, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Stephon Diggs led the way for New England in receiving, 7 catches, 69 yards, no touchdowns. And then Chamir Dyke was the leading receiver for Tennessee, 4 catches, 70 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Vrabel was on his revenge tour.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, and rightfully so. How he got let go from Tennessee, we're all kind of very puzzled about, but it is what it is. But him being back in New England, that's the perfect fit for him.
There were thank you Vrabel chants.
Yeah.
In Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I mean, well they knew he turned that franchise into something. And granted, when the magic runs out, you got to do a switch. I get it.
Yeah.
But I knew when he was going to come back, and especially if he got to build a team, which Robert Kraft and the organization up there has allowed him to do.
Yep.
You knew he was going to right that ship. It was just a matter of when, not
I just
if.
didn't expect it to be this quick.
Well, the thing is, you caught lightning in the bottle with Drake May, who, as of right now, is playing very, very elite football.
Absolutely.
And the other role players on this team are playing the Patriot way. There's a lot of that similar Tom Brady-esque offense style, the bend but don't break.
Having McDaniels as a coordinator helps.
Oh, it does, and especially for a rookie quarterback that he doesn't have to scheme too much for. Not saying anything against May. Like, I don't want it to sound like, when they have to simplify a playbook. But I think he knows May's strengths and is playing up to them. So when you have a quarterback that understands what his coach is expecting, the coaches know what they're expecting out of him. There isn't unrealistic goals to hit. This is why he's playing as well as he is. And there's almost a sense of carefree football to him, which we have not seen in New England in quite some time. I mean, Brady was all business, so I don't want to say like Brady didn't care. Oh, Brady cared more than I think anybody else on the field at the time.
Yeah, no, you're right.
However, though, May is playing very loose, but he's playing very smart.
Right.
And that is key.
Well, and plus the other thing, too, is you can tell the players love playing for him, which we've heard of this before. We've heard it 1,000 times. But to see it with the video from after the game where Vrabel comes in and he likes to give the game balls to certain guys who did well in the game, and May went, no, hold on. We got one more we got to give out. And he gave the game ball to coach. Yeah. And the speech he gave afterwards, I'm like, okay, no, I'm starting to see what they're talking about.
Dude, Vrabel gets it. Vrabel you understand why it's tough to see him go. Yeah. Because he's tough, but he is fair. Yeah. And that's one thing as a coach you want.
Well, that's coming from the Belichick Foundation.
Oh, yeah, but you think about everybody coming out of the school of Belichick. Mm-hmm. Certain people can graduate, certain people have struggled with extracurricular activities there. Yeah. And it's just a matter of like who really understands what they're doing there. But Vrabel is the model Belichick coach. He gets it.
Yeah.
And that's why those guys love playing for him. So
Yeah.
this is why we knew this was going to be a problem with him going to New England. Like the evil empire is coming back. So
True. Should be an interesting couple of weeks for the Patriots. They've got the Cleveland Browns at home this upcoming Sunday. Then they've got a home game against the Atlanta Falcons. They've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road week 10. And then they've got the home game against the New York Jets on Thursday Night Football after that. For the Tennessee Titans, they've got the Indianapolis Colts this upcoming Sunday on the road. Then
which, by the way, 17-point underdogs as we record.
Holy schmoly.
You can tell by my...
Holy schmoly.
I am not advising anything involving that game. I'm just saying that right now. Division game, I do not like that
It's
spread.
shrunk a little bit. It's now 14.5.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the open.
It's come back down.
Opening was 17. It's like, oof.
After that is a home game against the L.A. Chargers. Week 10 is bye week for the Titans, and then coming out of the bye, they've got a home game against the Houston Texans.
So a lot of football to break down in the upcoming weeks. We're getting near the trade deadline on November 4th.
Yeah, the playoff picture is slowly starting to come into picture. You got the Colts and the Packers, the number 1 seeds. They would have the bye. AFC side, you'd have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New England Patriots, the L.A. Chargers taking on the Denver Broncos, and then your Buffalo Bills taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. NFC side is, again, the Green Bay Packers are the 1 seed. Then you'd have the L.A. Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Seahawks taking on the Eagles. And then the Lions taking on the Buccaneers.
That's going to be some wild football.
That would, if the season ended today, those would be your matchups.
I like the Bills matchup. I'll take that any
Sure.
day. I'm sorry. I'll take them against 50-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Oh, man, a lot of football to be had. Obviously, the trade deadline coming up. There's going to be some moves happening. Hit us up on the hashtag ODPH pod. What is your takeaways from Week 7 of the NFL? Locks and Leaps stats will be up on the website soon after recording because we got a lot of football to catch up on. But how is your team doing? Hit us up. Let us know. We're going to get our first break out of the way. We'll be right back.
You ever wondered what comics Mark from Vale Mai is into? What Zach from Left Behind's favorite MCU movies are? Well, Metalcore Nerds is the show for you. My name is Sean Mott, and here at Metalcore Nerds, we cover the latest things in pop culture, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, DC, AEW, and everything else in between. You can listen to the show every Monday on Adobe Howl at 7 p.m. Eastern, or find it anywhere you find podcasts after it debuts on the radio station.
Coming back for another segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast, and we're going to take a dip into the entertainment world with some news that, obviously timing is going to be very interesting today because as we were going to record, we don't have all the details yet, but apparently Warner Brothers Discovery is now back up for sale.
That's the rumor. That's the story going around.
Yeah, so we'll have more on that next week. But
I got $5. Who wants to chip in?
I was going to say, we might have to get the Patreon back out for this.
Hey-o.
You never know. But it does lead us into what we're going to be discussing because it's been a couple weeks now, and we have finally time to break down the season finale of Season 2 of DC Studios' Peacemaker. So the James Gunn-led project starring John Cena as the unlikely anti-hero, if you will, known as Peacemaker, who is now adjusting to life after what went down in Season 1 with an alien invasion. But then again, back with the 11th Street Kids, Danielle Brooks, Fetty Stroma, Jennifer Holland, Steve Agee, Frank Grillo, and Robert Patrick are some of the lead actors and actresses involved with the show. And it has been quite a season thus far. So we're going to recap Episode 8, the season finale entitled Full Nelson, and give you our overall thoughts about where we think everything is going after this. So if you're new to the ODPH, once again, thank you for checking us out. It means the absolute world to us. What we like to do is give you a spoiler-free statement about what we're going to be discussing. After said statement, Pat gives you a countdown, and then you're like the Clash. Do you stay or do you go? If you stay, you're going to hear spoilers, you're going to hear deep dives, you're going to hear a lot of stuff that could ruin it if you haven't seen the show by now. Granted, it's been about a week and a half, but still, we want to give everybody fair warning. But if you want to say, hey, I don't want to get spoiled, just simple, download the episode, and then as soon as you're done watching it, jump in the conversation, get a call right up, because we have a lot to break down about what is going on with Peacemaker, Adebayo, Vigilante, Hardcore, and Economist, as they're now tripping the night away, so to speak, in the multiverse. So, Pat, that being said, give me your spoiler-free statement on the season finale of season 2 of DC Studio HBO Max's Peacemaker.
Thought it was good. I can see why and how this is tying into what's going on in the future of the current DC universe, the film universe, as it were. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. I think there's a lot of possibilities and there's a lot of potential for it. But I thought it was good. It was enjoyable. It was a nice send off. If this ends up being the swan song for the show and we don't get a third season, I'm all right with that. It doesn't feel like we need a third season. If they want to go that way, sure. But if this ends up being, the end, it was fun. It was a good launch point and a good catalyst for what we've had so far and what we will see, and it worked better than I thought it would.
So the season finale, I thought was a bit of a letdown. I think in comparison to some of the other episodes this season,
Sure.
it seemed more like a long stretched out epilogue than a finale.
Yeah.
Now, am I saying I was mad about it? No. But I just felt I wanted more with this episode. It did enough to really tie up loose ends. I will say that. And it also left the door open on a lot more possibilities, especially going where they're going next.
Right.
Which I have some theories about. I don't necessarily know how I feel about all of them right now, but regardless, I thought how this wrapped up, it's a very risky play.
Right.
And I'll get into that more so when we start doing spoiler talk. But overall, I was happy with the episode. But like I say, I felt like it was missing just something.
Sure.
So
that's fair.
Which, I mean, they gave us so much this season. You knew it was going to be tough to do.
Yeah.
And obviously, the last episode felt like the finale.
Yeah, I mean, HBO shows typically do.
Yeah. So
thanks, Game of Thrones.
Yep. So we seem to be copying that formula yet again, but we need to start talking some spoilers. So, Pat, in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk Peacemaker.
Like I said, I thought it was good. Not the best thing I've ever seen, and by no means the worst, but it was good. I enjoyed it, and for what it was, and I'm excited to see where things go. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, just like you, especially when it came to, we're going to go through and we're going to start opening the doors.
Yeah.
Was I expecting cameos and, what have you, like we saw in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie? No. But I figured, we might have seen some takes on some older Golden Age comic books, maybe with some folks, that like, yeah, okay, they're not going to play, a role in the DCU going forward, but it being a nice homage, a nice repayment, I guess you could say, to what's come. It would have been nice, but it didn't break the bank for me, so I'm not super upset by it. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, there was some stuff with this that I was like, okay, this is fine. But then if I'm really doing a deep dive on this, it really left one plot hole very, very big.
Sure.
That I'm like, oh, we're going to go here. How does this work in the grand scheme of things?
Right.
I don't know. And plus, there's just a couple things that I just felt like we had the nice, happy ending, but then we're going to try flipping everything to set up Superman.
Right.
That's where I took away from this. And I felt like, give this season proper due. Make it tie up loose ends with Peacemaker. Then if you did a quick bonus scene, then it would make more sense. But I really felt like it was missing something. Because, I mean, we do get the answer we've all been kind of waiting for. 1 month prior to where the season began, we finally know what happened between Peacemaker and Harcourt at the infamous boat scene. So we do know they're watching the iconic 80s band Nelson on a boat because they're out drinking and, kind of... just taking a break from everything they've gone through and, their crazy, crazy alien invasion world. And then we speed up now to the present day. Chris has now been arrested by Argus. He's not seeing anybody. And this is kind of causing little problems. But all the while here, Rick Flag is now pushing for everybody to go into the QUC there and start investigating these other worlds. So now we're dabbling in the world of the multiverse. Now, this is always tricky. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Marvel, DC, whatever, Doctor Who even.
Yeah.
This is tricky to pull off.
Yep.
I felt when they went here, they played it a little too safe.
Sure.
With some rooms.
Sure.
There was an homage, I know, to an old school horror line with
I saw an explanation for that, but I'd never heard of it, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
I figured, like, at the very least, you could have done some homages.
Yeah.
That you could have at least seen a glimpse, because obviously you wouldn't have been able to pull it off. But you could have seen a glimpse to like maybe the Adam West Batman series.
Yeah.
That like, okay, you didn't see or hear, Adam West's voice. Maybe you could have used archive audio from one of the episodes and had a lookalike off screen, because I don't want to do deep fakes. I don't want to do de-aging or anything like that. Like have a lookalike, have him facing backwards so that like, or have the commissioner's office from the series. You could have done something that like would have been a nice little homage.
Yeah, there had to be something.
Yeah.
Because like I say, when they started messing around with, it reminded me of that Star Trek episode with the when they were in the pop world.
Oh yeah.
They're furries, but I apologize, I can't think of the real name of it.
I haven't seen that in a while, but yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like when it kind of reminded me of that, I was like, okay, what are we doing? So I mean, and they're trying, and of course in James Gunn fashion, they're trying to go over the top with them, and it's like, guys, we don't need this. This is just way too much. Everything about this was like it was way too much. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I understand you want to try to say Tribbles, I think is the name of it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So that was kind of the drawback of this, because I know they're trying to establish how Hardcore and company are now trying to figure all this out. Mm-hmm. They do something that I thought was very, very surprising, but it also worked.
Sure.
And that's when we had Adebayo meet up with Vigilante about bailing Chris out. Mm-hmm. And this has been something, too, that, Chris has been the centerpiece of the entire 11th Street Kids.
Yep.
To see Adebayo and Adrian finally have like a heart-to-heart about things, and even in Adrian's psychotic ways, because he's nuts.
Yeah.
It winds up working. So I thought the screen time here was really establishing what this team is all about, because when you take Peacemaker out of the equation, why should they even be working together? So I thought this was one of the more stronger pieces going on between Brooks and Stroma. Like, I thought that they really brought out the best of the scene. And when they wind up freeing Peacemaker, he takes Eagly, his trusty eagle, and runs. Mm-hmm. So now this becomes a real interesting plot point, because now he's on the run.
Yup.
And doesn't want to get anybody else in trouble. But all the while, too, Argus is still investigating these new worlds. Mm-hmm. And now they find one that they think is normal.
Define normal.
Yeah, which Rick Flag is still like delusional about. Mm-hmm. And Frank Grillo is playing into this as well, which his character work this episode is nothing against Grillo.
Right.
But how he was written, I thought, was kind of off a lot. Because now it's been determined that with him and his dealings with Lex Luthor, they have now come up with an idea about doing a planet prison known as Salvation. Now, if you're familiar with DC Comics, Salvation Run is a thing.
Uh-huh.
And it is more or less, to sum up very nicely, the prisons for superhuman metas, or superpowered metas. And when they did this storyline originally, you had the heavy hitters of like Lex Luthor, the Joker, the heavyweights of the DCU. Mm-hmm. And it turned out to be a planet for Apocalypse.
Was seen in the event series Final Crisis.
Yeah. So when you want to try dabbling with this, and now you're alluding that Darkseid might be coming here.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're alluding nothing.
Well,
they're heavily like, yo, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, like I say, but to do that for the Superman sequel, like that's the only thing that was going through my head. Mm-hmm. You're asking a lot for Superman and Luthor versus Darkseid. If that
I don't think it's going to lead to that directly, but I think it's going to be almost like a Thanos in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, you have to.
You might see him, you might get a glimpse, but it won't be until like the last 5 minutes.
No, I think it for Man of Tomorrow, the Superman sequel, which this is setting up a lot for. Mm-hmm. It has to be Brainiac.
Oh yeah,
there's no way around it. You have to do Brainiac.
Yeah,
because if you go in with Darkseid, like it's done. Like.
Darkseid is the big bad of the entire DC universe.
Yeah, you'd be wasting film. I'm sorry. Like, just going to be honest truth about it. So now they're establishing about Salvation, which this is going to get wild, but now the government's on board with it. Mm-hmm. So during this whole thing, we have a traitor amongst the midst here in Sasha Bordeaux, who's played by Sol Rodriguez, which she sees this and is going like, Flag, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Like, this is nuts. She tips off Hardcore about this. Mm-hmm. So as they're going along with this, they wind up leaving Argus because they wind up using technology to go track down Peacemaker, who's on the run. So now you have 2 rogue agents. After Hardcore has done everything to go back and get in Flag's good graces when she sold out Chris, she's now on the run too. So they have to figure out what's happening there, especially Bordeaux was with Flag in a relationship of some sort.
Yeah, that's reasons.
Yeah, so they wind up tracking him down along with the rest of the 11th Street kids. And then they have to talk him into staying because now he wants to disappear and go. And it really is like this back and forth scene where everybody's pleading to him. And of course, Peacemaker doesn't want to hear anything because he's Peacemaker.
And he's hard-headed.
Yeah, he's just... He
Pun
doesn't,
not intended.
Nope, until one thing is finally told to him, and that's Hardcore admits she has feelings, and that it meant something. So now they're together. So after all this time and all the things that we've done with Rick Flag Jr., we now are seeing the new era with her and Peacemaker.
Yep.
And they kind of come to the conclusion about what they want to do now because, well, basically, I mean, Hardcore and Bordeaux are free agents. They can do whatever they want.
Yep.
Peacemaker is there, even though he's bailed out, so he's got to wait for trial or whatever he's going to go on. So he is still now a free agent. And they wind up doing something which I will admit I marked out a little bit for. Because they wind up using the money that Vigilante has had in his basement.
The drug money.
Yes, the Breaking Bad-esque cubes of money.
Yep.
To fund what pad?
The agency known as Checkmate.
So if you are not familiar with DC lore, Checkmate is a SHIELD-esque outfit. They're not up. Let me rephrase this. They're not the number one, but they're in that conversation. Like Argus rules everything in DC as far as spy stuff goes. Checkmate is up there. Checkmate is very, very complicated.
First showed up in Action Comics in the 80s.
Yes. It is unique, though, because they cycle through kings, queens, pawns, rooks. Like it's like the chessboard. So the fact we're getting Checkmate in, I think, is very, very cool. And especially seeing the lineup they have because they have Bordeaux.
Right.
They also have Judo Master, which I wasn't sure what was going to happen to him, but now I guess they've recruited him. So that works. And they have the one only Langston Fleury, played by Tim Meadows, who is still confirmed not to be Martian Manhunter.
Yep.
Which is fine. I'm okay with it. But now they're forming it. So they have their happy ending. Like, it just seemed like it was moving very fast and everything was happy.
Yeah.
However, the ending, though, is what really caught everybody's attention. Because during this mess, Peacemaker is kidnapped.
Yep.
And Flag and company are behind it. And he's now the guinea pig for salvation. And he's left on this planet, which you hear noises of monsters or whatever is going on there. So he is now on this offshoot of Apocalypse.
Yep.
And that's how the season wraps. So a few takeaways here. I thought they did a nice job about setting up Checkmate because I didn't see that coming. And in fact, if I heard correctly, it wasn't on the board when they were doing the filming, so they had no idea what it was. Allegedly. I'll just put the allegedly because I believe I read that correct.
I could see it.
Which, that's amazing to do. And if you're going to have them do Checkmate, I would not mind a Checkmate series. If you don't need to do Peacemaker, I'm fine with it. Like, I mean, granted, John Cena's doing great work.
Right.
Happy with it.
Right.
But I just felt like with the season, or this episode rather, they tied up way too much too soon. Like it was that epilogue happy ending. But then you also had Flag's demeanor. And then there was even that one part too where Hardcore is talking to him. And earlier in the season, he said, call me Rick, call me Rick. And now he's saying, no, call me sir. So did you take anything away from that?
I thought it was interesting, for sure. But
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure where it's going.
See, I'm a couple different thoughts. I know there was some online chatter about it being Clayface. Look,
They're doing a movie, but
exactly. Until that movie comes out and we have like a real confirmation about it.
I mean, listen, word is they're borrowing from two of the greatest episodes of Batman animated series as inspiration.
I mean, they
Which,
could.
if you want to do an origin story for Clayface, I'll look up the episode names. Those are two of the best episodes you could do it.
Oh, sure. No, I'll give you that. But I'm saying to kind of force him in here. I mean, granted, Creature Commandos and X, Y, and Z, sure.
Yeah.
But I just think that would be a lot too soon if they did that. Because then you have the question, what happened to Rick Flag when he went to go meet Lex Luthor? That's a whole different ball of wax.
True.
So I don't know. I'm not saying somebody crossed over from another world and that's what we have. I'm just saying I thought that was very peculiar about him doing that because they made such a big emphasis about it. So who knows what that represents?
It is season 1, episodes 4 and 5. Episode 4 titled Feet of Clay, Part 1. Episode 5 titled Feet of Clay, Part 2.
Right.
If you have not seen them, go do yourself a favor. Watch those.
Yeah. So
should still be on HBO Max. I say should because who knows these days.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of stuff having HBO Max, raising prices too.
I'll tell you this. If it's not, add the Blu-ray box set to your wish list on Amazon Prime, and you should get notified when the price drops.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, I thought that was kind of peculiar. How they did Hardcore and Peacemaker's romance now, I think we all knew it was coming. So I wasn't so shocked at that.
Yeah, no.
But I like the character work with Economist and the team. Like I say, we're now seeing this team come together and gel, even without Peacemaker there.
Yeah.
So that's why I said if we get a Checkmate series out of this, I'm perfectly fine with this.
I'd be good with that.
I would not mind, but then I'm very curious about when we start breaking down who's ranking where. Because that's when stuff gets really interesting. Because Amanda Waller was at one point the head of Checkmate. Enough said. But I think for where they're setting up, the only thing that really gives me a little worry is Salvation Run.
Yeah, could be.
Because unless you're going to do a solo series of some sort, you're asking a lot if you're going to try forcing that into a movie. Like, you're going to, trap Superman there?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the only thing I was thinking is, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to move Luthor there? And then they have to fight their way back out? Because unless you're going to try saying Flag was compromised by Brainiac.
Right.
For whatever reason. Like, if that's the plot, that's the plot.
Right.
But unless you're going to say that was the case, like, it's very puzzling about trying to stack everybody there and then obviously tying everybody with Apocalypse. That's a lot of moving parts, man.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know if they'd necessarily go to the well 2 films in a row with Superman doing the whole pocket dimension thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing that scares me.
Because you just did this. Like, you don't need, like, you can have it as a point in the movie of, like, it's featured a couple times, but don't make it the plot point.
Exactly. That's another key point too. So I'm not sure where we're going with it, but when I saw Salvation come up, I'm like, oh, that's a risky gamble. I mean, could James Gunn pull it off? Absolutely. I have faith in him, but still, that's a deep stretch unless you're going to include A-list villains in there. But how are you going to pull that off?
Right.
That's, like I say, there's a lot more questions of all this that gave me a little pause. But I think for overall, the season was very good. I would like to see more. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I understand.
Sure.
I would much rather see a Checkmate series. I'm going to be very honest. I
could see it.
Give me some spy action in the DCU. That's all I'm asking. So if you want to do that, I'm perfectly fine with it. I thought performances were on point. I thought everybody did really good episode for what the material was. But I just feel like we wasted too much time trying to establish Salvation. And then it opens up the more balls of wax that I just don't know if we're ready for. Your takeaway to close this out?
I thought the season overall was good. I think I like season 1 just a little bit better, though.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Season 2 is good, though. If this is the end, I'm all right with that. You know what? Not everything needs to go for 5 seasons and 6 seasons and 7 seasons. You're going to do these little short things. That's fine. You know, it's going to launch a couple projects after this, it looks like, and that's all I ask for.
Yeah, give me more Checkmate. Let's start getting that hashtag going. Along with hashtags, hashtag ODPH pod. What is your takeaway from the season 2 finale of DC Studios and HBO's Peacemaker? Entitled Full Nelson. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And why? And give us your picks. Where do you think we're going next in the DCU? Are we going to see Brainiac? Are we going to see Darkseid? Are we going to see something else? Are we going to see a true Checkmate series come to HBO Max? Let's put that karma out in the world. That being said, we're going to take our final break. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder, and you better listen to the ODPH podcast, or I'm coming for you, and Batman is coming for you.
Coming back for the final segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast. Pad, what you got?
Got a couple things to talk about, first of which is obviously the local minute and looking at the standings for the Federal Prospects Hockey League, where our local Binghamton Black Bears play, and specifically the Empire Division. Well, looking real good because right now they're sitting atop the Empire Division in first place with the record of, through 4 games played, 3 wins in regulations, no losses, nothing in overtime, nothing in the overtime wins category, and 1 shootout win for a grand total of 11 points. You've got the Topeka Scarecrows in second place with 9 points. Also are the Port Huron Prowlers with 9 points. Then you've got the Blue Ridge Bobcats next with 6 points. The Watertown Wolves after that with 4 points. And, well, Danbury Hat Tricks and the Indiana Sentinels bringing up the rear with no points on for either team. Looking at the schedule from this past week, they had 2 games, one at home, one on the road. Both were up against the Danbury Hat Tricks. They won the game on Friday at home by the final score of 6-3, and then came back on Saturday on the road to win by the final score of 3-0.
Nice.
Got a couple games this weekend. The first of which is on the road Friday, October 24th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. They're on the road playing the Watertown Wolves, and then they're back home on Saturday, October 25th, at 7 o'clock Eastern against the Watertown Wolves. Should note that the game this upcoming Saturday is going to be costume night. So they got a whole thing because it's right before Halloween. So yeah, definitely check that out for more tickets, information, all that good stuff. BinghamtonBlackBears.com. And we got a little bit of baseball news to talk about because, hey, baseball season slowly coming to the end, but do have some news coming out. The Angels have hired their next manager, and that is former catcher Kurt Suzuki. Played for 16 seasons for 5 franchises, won the World Series in 2019 with the Washington Nationals. The last 3 seasons, he's been a special assistant to Angels general manager Perry Minasian. So that makes sense. Catchers very often in Major League Baseball become managers after their playing career. Interestingly, though, Albert Pujols was under consideration for this job, although he's been managing some Caribbean Dominican team down that way, so I can understand. But also Torrey Hunter apparently got some consideration for this job.
That's cool.
That would have been interesting. Of course, they are Kurt Suzuki stepping in to replace Ron Washington, who did unfortunately miss half of the season after undergoing quadruple bypass surgery. So good luck and speedy recovery and everything else to Ron Washington.
Yes, absolutely.
Bypass surgery ain't easy. Quadruple, good grief.
Yeah.
And then, hey, good luck to Kurt Suzuki because first managerial job and you're in LA. Not easy.
Yeah, but I think with the Angels, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like he was always a great catcher.
Yeah.
So and catchers usually transition pretty
True.
well because you got to manage the pitchers.
True.
So
and then we got to talk a little bit of the postseason because the World Series is set up on the American League side. After winning in 7 games, you have the Toronto Blue Jays. On the National League side, after sweeping the Milwaukee Brewers, you have the LA Dodgers. Hey, Brewers, congratulations. You put up 1 run in every single game. Should note, historically, I believe the stat I saw was of the last 4 instances where one team swept their division in the championship series, or swept their series in the championship series, and the other team went 7 games in their championship series. The team that went 7 games has won the World Series. Take that for what you will, Toronto fans. Namely, I'm looking at you, Drake. But yeah, so you got the Blue Jays taking on the LA Dodgers. Game 1 starts on Friday. It's up in Toronto. All games are on 8 o'clock Eastern. All games are on Fox. So you've got it going Friday the 24th, Saturday the 25th. Game 3 is on Monday the 27th. Game 4 is on Tuesday the 28th. And then Game 5, if necessary, is on the 29th, which is a Wednesday. Game 6, again, necessary, is on Halloween. And then Game 7, which, I'm kind of hoping it gets that far, is Saturday, November 1st. So who am I picking? Well, go Dodgers. All I need to say. But hey, congratulations to 2025 World Series champion Buddy Kennedy. You wondering who that is? You're wondering why I say that? Well, Buddy Kennedy is a second baseman and third baseman who's played for a multitude of teams. But most notably, this season, he played for the Toronto Blue Jays for 2 games. And he played for the LA Dodgers for 7 games. And the way the World Series championship rings work is, unless the owner says otherwise, and typically they don't, if you were on the active roster during the Major League season for that team, you will get a World Series ring. So no matter who wins the World Series, he's getting a ring. So congratulations to 2025 World Series champion Buddy Kennedy.
Not a bad way to wrap up the baseball season for him. No.
We do have some breaking NFL news, though. You were wondering why the Giants haven't cut their kicker yet because of what happened on Sunday. Well, you ain't got to wonder no more. Because according to Adam Schefter in a post on X, quote, Giants released Jude, oh boy, this is a last name, McAtmey. As Ryan Dunleavy reported, McAtmey became the only kicker in the last 40 years to miss 2 extra points neither of which were blocked in a game his team lost by 1 point.
Listen, it is what it is.
Yep.
I'm just saying, you need to produce to stay in the game. So
This is true.
So that being said, sports-wise too, the NBA is kicking off tonight.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, so basically, Pat, who's your picks to go to the finals? We'll do a deeper dive next week. 'Cause we got,
You know what? It's funny you should say this because there was one year, and I have this on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, buried somewhere. I did accurately predict the NBA Finals one year. I can't remember if it was at the start of the season or at the start of the playoffs, but I did say the Miami Heat were going to beat the San Antonio Spurs the one year. I think the only thing I got wrong was the number of games, but I did end up calling that one right. I think on the Western Conference side, because Lord knows that's a lot easier to predict than the Eastern side, I think it's going to end up being the Oklahoma City Thunder representing the Western Conference again this year, because I think I'll tell you this. I think the Western Conference Finals are going to be Utah and Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City Thunder. That thing's going at least 6 games. I'm telling you right now. It'll be barn burner. And then on the Eastern side of things, I'm going to say it's going to be, and boy, if there was ever a year for them to do it, this would be the year to do it. I'm going to say it's going to be the New York Knickerbockers.
Bless you.
Who wins? Well, for the sake of insanity, and I want to see what happens, I'm going to say New York.
My man.
Just because I want to see what happens when the Knicks actually win a championship.
Well, this is make or break.
And I want to be as far away from that as possible.
I want to run down the city for that. I want to be a part of that. Just give me a camcorder and let me go.
Listen, you and I both know somebody that if this happens, we will not see that person for at least 2 weeks.
Oh, no. Trust me, our group of friends, a lot of them are going to go disappear for quite some time. I might be there too. Like it might be Coach Duffy. We might have him come back on the show. It'll be the rare moment he does.
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to say this though, to kind of be brief about it, because with the NBA, we really want to give some time to it, and just I know this week we were just kind of backlogged with a lot of stuff. I think the Knicks, this is their year, and I'm not saying
if there ever was a year, this is the year to do it.
I agree. There's no Tatum, there's no Halliburton. They're taking advantage of an Eastern Conference that is very depleted. They're going to have some tough times with Detroit and Cleveland.
Yeah.
But if they stay healthy, I think the Knicks do it. I don't think they get Giannis. I'd love to see it happen, but then again, they'd have to dismantle that entire team. I think the Knicks can win right now, and I think with the additions they did to their bench, Mike Brown is going to be fine because he knows how to use a bench.
Mm-hmm.
I think this team is going to look better than they have even under Thibodeau.
Okay.
So that said, I'm penciling them in for the finals. On the Western Conference, I'm going to throw something crazy at you because I was kind of doing some research about this.
Okay.
Oklahoma City should win on paper. There's no question about
in theory,
this.
yeah.
But if this team can find a way to stay healthy, there's a big 3 in Texas that is going to give them a run.
Oh, shit, really?
And I think Dallas could get there. I think Dallas could upset Oklahoma City.
Okay.
I think that if Kyrie and AD can stay healthy, they'll be fine. But with their latest addition from the Duke Blue Devils, I know Luka is not there, but he's ready to go right now. Like Cooper can play. I think they can give enough problems to Oklahoma City. And then it also depends, too, of how hungry they want to get back. Because that's the one thing. They had success early. It's tough to get back on that unless you haven't had it in a while.
So I looked up the odds, and this is courtesy of the folks over at FanDuel. This is not a sponsored piece. This is just I looked it up and I found FanDuel. They have got the Oklahoma City Thunder as the favorites to win the NBA championship at plus 210. Next to the Cleveland Cavaliers at plus 650. Then you've got the Denver Nuggets at plus 700. The Knicks are up next at plus 1100. Then you've got the LA Clippers at plus 1700. And then you've got the Houston Rockets at plus 1800.
Houston should, but I just don't have any faith in them.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. I'd like to be proved wrong one year unless they're facing the Knicks.
Listen, throw a 50 down. You've got the Washington Wizards at plus, what is this, plus 100,000? throw $50 down on it. Why not?
I'd rather buy a lot of comics.
Okay.
Which I wound up doing this past week to kind of quickly recap New York Comic Con.
Okay.
There's a lot of articles on Nerd Initiative, so I didn't want to kind of take away from that. And we didn't do a full breakdown episode of Turn a Page for it because there was so much going on. Like it would have been a lot. But
yeah.
Let me hit Pad with the bullet points.
Okay.
What went down. Comic-Con was crazy. 250,000 people there.
Whew.
So throughout the weekend. So
Good Lord.
it was wild. Amazing time, though. The standout moments, V-Friends came and had an amazing booth. Are you familiar with what's going on, V-Friends?
No.
So V-Friends is the comic universe that Gary Vaynerchuk has created.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, as he words it, to kind of paraphrase, his Marvel, his Pokemon. It's over 250 characters involving characteristics and ideas he has. Like the Notorious Ninja is one. Poised Pug. So he had this, and he's kind of been doing some really cool stuff with the collectability factor. So where we're seeing the blind bags take off now in comics, he's been implementing a lot of that in this universe. So they've been doing a lot of crazy stuff with this. They debuted their issues 5, 6, and 7 with Jay Lee, Jim Manfood, and David Mack doing covers. So David Mack cover looks amazing too. So they've been doing this, and they're really kind of pushing towards the NFT side of things, which, if you understand what's going on with the V-Friends overall universe, you understand that that's a big thing for that. But for me, comics obviously is the big deal. So they had a great presentation. I got to meet Gary. Gary actually remembered who I was, so that's a wild scenario.
Look at you.
You know, it's kind of it was a cool moment. So definitely, I got my Walmart exclusive autographs because he's doing a deal. He did a deal with them.
That makes sense.
That was another thing too. It was kind of crazy. Was a lot of the digital selling what was going on. Whatnot had a big presentation. eBay had a monster booth.
They're usually there every year. Yeah, that makes sense.
But Walmart had a big booth too, and they had like
a little surprising.
Tom King signing, Todd McFarlane signing.
Just because I don't know if it's our local Walmart, but like Walmart typically for like the pop culture side of things, a little lacking.
Yeah, no, that was the thing too. I thought like this was something very new.
A lot of electronics if you want to buy like a TV or speaker or computer, but if you're looking for like the latest movies,
Right. So, but like for this side of things, I thought was really crazy. But they're getting more into the digital comic thing.
Okay,
so
makes sense.
It was a very cool thing. But like I said, V-Friends had an amazing performance out of that the entire weekend. Like that whole booth was rocking. Boom Studios also had a great one. Pad, we have Swamp Thing is Killing the Children.
Oh boy,
we're having a crossover with Erica Slaughter and Swamp Thing.
Nice.
So this is going to be published by Boom.
Okay.
With the DC Black Label banner with it, but this is a Boom book. This is Boom Studios. I really want to clarify too. But with like how they do with Swamp Thing doing something, so this is not going to be for kids by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh Lord, no.
So I love seeing this crossover as announced too. We're having 100 issues of Something That's Killing Children too. So a lot of things happening there, but Boom had a great presentation going on. Skybound Entertainment, shout out to everybody at Skybound. Amazing time. In fact, we have a little bit of an interview to play because I got a chance to go to the press room and talk to Robert Kirkman, Dan Mora, who are the team now on Transformers, Connor Hughes, who is an artist on Void Rivals, and Jorge Corona, who is on Transformers as well. So I got to sit in for the roundtable. I'll play that quick right now for you because it's a very cool moment in time here. So here you go. Ken M Nerd Initiative. The Energon universe is now 2 years old and doing fantastic work all across the board. For each of you, what has been your favorite moment as a creator or a fan?
I'll go first to let you guys think of your answer, I guess.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think that one of my favorite moments in Transformers was that opening scene in the Ark when they're fighting and RC and Spike are pushing Optimus Prime's gun to try and help Optimus Prime. Yeah. They don't know who Optimus Prime is. Optimus Prime doesn't know who they are. It just so succinctly set up the relationship between the Autobots and the humans in such a stunningly visual way. It's one of Daniel Warren Johnson's superpowers, able to come up with scenes like that. And I think it really kind of set the tone for the Energon universe as a whole. Josh is doing a lot of great stuff in G.I. Joe. I think that, his major contribution to the Energon universe was using Energon to power the blue lasers from Cobra's guns and kind of bringing that in from the cartoon for the first time in G.I. Joe comic book history. So I think that stuff was just great. And there's been some great moments with Destro that he's done that I just love that character. And I'm just going to say every issue of Void Rivals.
All right. I think, as a fan, just the start of the book, just having Daniel doing that for first arc, just immediately hooks you up into the series, and then getting to work with him. I think there were two moments that I was like, oh my god, which was when we brought back Jetfire, and then he's trapped in his vehicle mode, and basically is I cannot see the stars, and that whole moment just destroyed me emotionally. And then later on, I mean, obviously there was a lot of like cathartic moments at the end of the run, but the My Boy moment where like Optimus is with Sparky, and that was another one that I was like reading the script and I was like, I better nail this because this has such weight to it that it was really important for me to make sure that everyone else would read it the way it was meant to. So I think that was the best part about working behind the scenes, and then getting to work on our Pat kind of Megatron moment, where it was just like, how can we make this guy as imposing as he can be? So again, it's just fun. It's also robots punching each other.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
So
I mean, I guess my favorite part so far that I've been able to be part of is maybe Scarsoid's like journey. It's like a side story, like for the main arc. But I've always been able to spend a little more time on those scenes. Really like. I just like what you've done with them. I think it's like a lot of hilarious. Like, there's a great humor to his journey, but there's also a darkness that I really love.
My contribution has been so little to the.
Well, it's a fan though.
Yes, so I'm very new, but there's a panel that I really like where Chris Jumper is pushing the middle fingers. So that was a great panel. When I saw that, it just makes me realize how different the book is, how these characters do these things that you never thought that they would do.
Excellent. So that was from the Skybound press room. So amazing time up there. I have another interview I have to chop up there.
Couldn't ask him one question about Beast Wars?
Yeah, I almost did.
You had one job.
I almost did. Well, they they touched upon a lot of different things at the panel itself.
Okay.
So the panel's got some really cool stuff going on. I know you're big into voice acting. Does the name Lee Pace mean anything to you?
It does, but off the top of my head, I can't think of what he does. I'll have to look it up.
He's going to be voicing Thrag in the upcoming Invincible season.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I did see that.
That's a big moment, to see that. So they have a lot of stuff going on, and especially, too, if you've been following what's been going on in the pages of Transformers, the Mask universe is now over. So if you remember those toys, so Matt Tracker is there. They had Miles Mayhem. So that was all talked about at the panel. Great panel. A lot of cool stuff happening. In fact, the Dreadnought War is kicking off for G.I. Joe, and I cannot wait to check that out. But then, obviously, we got to talk quickly about the big two. Marvel really came out with a big presentation the entire weekend. Spider-Man and his Venomous Friends panel had some news, Pat, I know you're going to be interested in. There's an upcoming crossover event called Death Spiral.
Oh, boy.
This ties in Spider-Man, Venom, which is Mary Jane Watson.
I mean, to be fair, that title alone sounds like any given issue of Peter Parker's life.
Yeah. But this one also ties in Eddie Brock Carnage.
Oh, shit.
So this is going to be kicking off. And then they announced that next summer is going to be Queen in Black. So stemming out of the pages of the book you reviewed?
Yep, Venom 250, which I said people are going to want to read. It's going to have a lot of big impact.
Yeah, so they were definitely talking about that at the panel, so that was kind of a wild moment as well. The X-Men Age of Revelation panel had a lot of new titles coming out. Big things are happening in this universe, so we definitely want to make sure that if you're an X-Men fan, you're going to be very interested to see about how this all wraps up because they're kicking off almost like a new initiative. So it's going to be interesting to see how it played out. Like I said, the X-Men panel was very solid, but a lot of moving parts there, but very cool titles coming out of this. But then the one that stopped the entire show for Marvel was their Next Big Thing panel.
Right.
So we got some information about Infernal Hulk. That's the new Hulk that you're seeing that's split in half.
Yeah, I didn't think you could get more terrifying than the ultimate version of Hulk they've got going right now, but they might have topped that.
Philip Kennedy Johnson did, and he was talking very heavily about this. And then you also got Dennis Camp talking about the Ultimates universe, and the end is coming in April next year.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed about that, but is what it is.
Yeah, so that one definitely was one that really caught the eyes. But the mic drop moment of the entire Marvel weekend was Joshua Williamson is coming back to Marvel.
Yeah, holy cow.
For Iron Man with Carmen Carnero on the art. Listen, that's going to be a monster book when it drops. The premise is wild. Joshua Williamson won Saturday of Comic-Con. Like, he had the Energon Universe panel. He had the Marvel one, and then obviously his DC one. But I definitely want to plug quickly, too, probably the livest panel I've been to in years was the Marvel and Mass Appeal panel.
Really?
Yep. So this was Nas and his legendary friends.
Oh, right.
So this was Nas, Slick Rick, De La Soul, Ghostface, Raekwon, and DJ Premier.
Good Lord.
And if you know anything about New York hip hop, like this was a moment.
Yeah.
And to be in the presence of that blew my mind. Like I sat there, even though it was the last one on Friday night, leaving the Javits about 9:30. I did not care. I was like, I was wired. So amazing presentation. But the biggest, the winner of DC New York Comic Con was DC Comics.
Nice.
DC came in. They set the pace early on Retailer Day. Now that is a day that obviously I don't want to say vendors, but vendors are setting up, but publishers are down there and they're talking with retailers.
It's the business side of things.
Yes. Jim Lee, shout out to Jim Lee, set the pace for the entire weekend. Because in his speech to the retailers, he made a commitment to the fans that there will be no AI-supported anything at DC.
Nice.
In storytelling and art. That's to really put it there. This became a rally cry the entire weekend because I was at a couple panels for Marvel. Editor-in-Chief C.B. Sobalski got asked about it. CB was very passionate about saying no.
Right.
And the lengths they go to screen that out. So DC is getting very tight about that now too, which is good. And and this also carried down to the other publishers. This came up in an Image panel too, which I went for the future of comics. And trust me, everybody was voicing like AI has no place in comics, which is great. DC, like I said, won the weekend though.
Nice.
They brought back their DC Vertigo line. I know that's something you're not into because of mature readers.
No, but it makes sense given the popularity of the boys. They've got the spinoff series Gen V going with season 2 right now. Invincible's as popular as it ever was. So for them to bring that back at this point in time doesn't surprise me at all, just with how popular the mature line of things is going.
Yeah, and especially, Vertigo is a legendary line if anybody doesn't know about it. And, it spawns such things as Preacher, Sandman in his heyday. That was the Doom Patrol that we know from the DC Universe show. Man, I missed that one. But they've announced 4 new titles kicking off in February. They've got a dozen new ones coming out. Like, there's amazing stuff, and they're actually going to. They made a point to say Black Label is still happening. So we talked about the crossover venture going on with Boom.
All right.
They're also going to finish up Swamp Thing 89.
Holy cow!
Which, if you know how that ended, that was very controversial.
Right.
They're going to finish it off, and we're talking right down to the coloring. Like, it's crazy what they're going to do.
Nice.
Big moment though. Big moment in time happening in DC with that. Gotham City panel had a lot of news going on, but the big takeaway was Absolute Catwoman is coming, 6 issues. Che Grayson is teaming up with Scott Snyder and Bengal to bring this out. There's also going to be a Sirens Black Label book coming out with Teenie Howard and Babs Tarr on it. So that's going to be a fun one to definitely check out. And then the one that shook everybody up. So the DCKO panel was announced with many things going on with All Fight Month is going to be taking place. And they kind of explained a little more about this tournament that's going on to crown the absolute champion. In the second round, because it's 2 out of 3 falls, characters can turn into any version of themselves throughout the timeline.
Oh, heavens.
So they threw out, not saying this is going to happen, but they threw out this out like, if Jason Todd wanted to be Robin to fight the Joker, he could.
Oh, God.
So, they said, there's a lot of wild things happening with this.
Yeah.
So, and that was the crazy part. But they also threw up a graphic, too, with a dozen new books coming out with other characters like Deathstroke the Terminator, the Demon, Batwoman, which Greg Rucka is returning to.
Ooh.
That one, I was applauding the minute I heard that news. So there's more news coming out with that. The other creative team that was announced was Lobo is coming back with Scotty Young and Jorge Corona on the art. And then they decided to mic drop it again. I said Joshua Williamson won the weekend. He's writing Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, all right.
So if you've been reading his current Superman run, you might have an idea. But listen, I applaud him for taking that on because for whatever reason, Legion of Superheroes is tricky. That's a tricky book to do. But if anybody can do it, he can. Definitely shout out to everybody at Read Pop for allowing us to cover his press. We got a lot of stuff on Nerd Initiative, so you definitely want to go check that out. And then if you were at NYCC, definitely hit us up and let us know because we got a lot to break down about what's coming in the upcoming months for that.
Nice.
But that being said, that's in the upcoming months. This week is New Comic Book Day as we're recording. Pad, what you picking up this week?
Picking up a couple things. It is a busy week in the Ultimates universe. First of which is Ultimate Spider-Man number 22 by Jonathan Hickman. You got Marco Cicchetto is the artist on this one. And this one reads, The Last Will and Testament of Redacted. That's not me editorializing it. That's what it actually says. Lot going on in this issue. Feels like it's a bit of a setup, for what's coming down the road. So the impact is not immediately felt right now, but we will see with time. The next two are intimately connected with each other because the first one I'm gonna mention leads into two other books. So if you read one of these, not this book, but one of the two I mentioned afterwards, and you're a little confused, you're going to want to go back to this next one I'm going to mention because that'll explain a few things. So the one that is stemming out into two other books is the conclusion of the Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion storyline. This is issue number 5. Cody Ziegler and Dennis Camp are the authors on this one. And what this has been Miles Morales' journey into this version of the Ultimate Universe. His sister got sucked in. His baby sister got sucked in there. Has been in the hands of the Maker and some of his goons, and he's been trying to get her back the entire time. So the description of this one is the ultimate exit, a showdown with the Maker's council. The clock is ticking for Miles to escape the Ultimate Universe with his baby sister. How will Miles leave a mark on the Ultimate Universe, and how will the Ultimate Universe leave a mark on Miles? Don't miss the exciting conclusion and what it bodes for the future of both universes. So the story in this one directly leads into the next book I'm going to talk about, which is The Ultimates, but it's also going to lead into the next issue of Miles Morales, Spider-Man 39, I believe it is, which I don't think is out until December. But if you go to read that one and you're confused, like, wait, what's going on? Because the ending of this one is going to have a direct impact on that storyline, but there's also a moment in this one that is going to lead into leads into Ultimates 17. You're going to want to read this one just because there's a couple of big moments in this one that are going to have some ripple effects across two universes. So that's going to be absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, they're definitely making a lot of moves in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't want to be missing about that.
So then the next one is Ultimates number 17, which I mentioned. This is by Dennis Camp, and this one reads, The Ultimate Fantastic Four. Now that the Ultimates are using the Immortus engine to its full capacity, Doom's dream of the Ultimate Fantastic Four may finally be realized. ... Hell of a cover on this one. I'm showing Ken the cover on this one because
that's a dope cover.
Yeah, you've got Dyke Ruan is the cover artist on this one. The issue is just absolutely bonkers, especially because we're seeing a side of this universe's Doctor Doom that didn't fully anticipate and didn't fully expect to see, because it's a little glimpse of his past. And boy, if you felt bad for the guy before, you're going to feel even worse after this one. I'll tell you off air what happens because I don't want to spoil anything for those two issues, because seriously, go read them. It's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, no, I mean, everything going on in the Absolute Universe is just nuts.
And then,
Ultimate one too.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them are going crazy.
Lastly, and certainly not leastly, you got two books from the folks at Star Wars. The first one is from Marvel, and this is Star Wars Jedi Knights, issue number 8 from Mark Guggenheim. And this has got Muzabekov is the artist on this one, and this reads, quote, "The most unusual issue yet. Meet Suna Taj, a young girl who is strong with the Force, who's in great danger, kidnapped by a group of pirates. This unique story is told through Suna's own eyes, allowing you to experience the Force through the eyes of a youngling. Guest starring fan favorite Jedi, Kelleran Beck."
Yeah, this is wild.
This issue is probably the most ambitious one I've seen done yet, because as the description reads, and you can tell by just looking at the cover, the whole thing is from the perspective of this young, they never say how old she is. We never even see the character because the whole thing is in first person view of her. So what they are able to do with the artwork in this issue is insane, because you can't do the big grandiose hallways you might be used to from Star Wars. You can't do the super intricate and, technological ships you might be used to because it's first person. All she's seeing is the inside of the cockpit of the ship. Mm-hmm. All she's seeing is what she sees directly in front of her. It's nuts. It's insane. It works. Seriously, go read this. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Lastly, and certainly not leastly, is stuff from the folks at Dark Horse, and this is Star Wars Tales from the Nightland, issue number 2 from Kevin Scott. This one reads, after his defeat on Cloud City, Luke Skywalker is tormented by Darth Vader's revelation. Is the Dark Lord of the Sith really his father? When a nightmare suggests otherwise, Luke can't resist the opportunity to investigate and come face to face with the Nightlander. A chilling 3-issue horror series from a galaxy far, far away, written by Kevin Scott, the New York Times bestselling author of Star Wars Tales from Vader's Castle and a storied architect of the High Republic Initiative, and introducing the Nightlander, a Star Wars boogeyman designed by legendary artist Ian McCaig. So this issue is nuts. The artwork is some of the most bonkers art I've ever seen, and I don't mean that in a bad way. If you buy this issue, buy it for the artwork alone because it is trippy, but in a good way, and it's so much fun to read.
Yeah, Dark Horse Star Wars is always on point.
Uh-huh.
Always. So on my side of things, DCKO is dominating my life this week. 3 tie-in events taking place. So Superman 31, Justice League Unlimited number 12, and The Flash 26, which has a new writing team. Christopher Cantwell and Mark Waid is writing this now, which Mark Waid back on The Flash. That is bringing back a lot of nostalgia.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, Mark Waid does no wrong in my eyes as far as superheroes. One of the best to ever do it. Also, DC Comics, Detective Comics. God, this is going to be sounding so weird to saying 1102. So 1,102 issues. Like we're just an amazing time. So this is Tom Taylor and Michael Janin, which they're dealing with the viruses coming to Gotham and who's behind it. So, and Batman is dealing with the infection. So how does it all take place? Great stuff in Detective Comics. Love this run.
Nice.
Green Lantern number 28. So this is Jeremy Adams and V. Ken Marion. This is dealing with the fallout of the Starbreaker Supremacy. That's the big event they just wrapped up.
Okay.
And there's a name in the world of the Book of Oa.
Okay.
Just gonna leave it there.
Okay.
Just gonna leave it there.
All right.
And then last but certainly not least, one of my favorite series of the past year. I know it's scary to think we're at the midway point, but man, this has been so freaking good. Immortal Legend Batman.
Oh, wow.
So number 3, Kyle Higgins, Matt Groom, Erica Durso, they are absolutely crushing this. Doing a very unique style of Batman storytelling, and issues 1 and 2 have been on point. Issue 3,
nice.
Very excited about. Pat, I'm trying to show you the cover here.
Ooh.
Because there's a certain man with a cane that's looking like it's making you question some things.
Oh boy.
So definitely a lot of things to be excited about at the comic shop. And if you're looking for more reviews, Nerd Initiative has got you. I believe over 38 this week, if I'm not mistaken. I got to do the math on it.
Sheesh.
Still catching up from New York Comic Con. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with that. So that being said, make sure to head over there, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then go head over to the YouTube Shorts as well, because nobody does New Comic Book Day quite like the home of pop culture positivity. That being said, we gave you an oversized edition of the ODPH. If you want to find us, odphpodcast.com is the place to go. That is all we have for this week. So for the one and only Pat and 1J.
Fuck the Astros.
I'm your host, Ken. Thank you always for listening to the ODPH podcast. We'll see you next time.
It's such waste of time swiping left and swiping right on people you could know. 'Cause anyone who's worth a damn be worth way more than a picture could ever show. You could find the right light, find the right angle, and never find your soul. And it can feel like a losing battle, and this plot is full of holes. This modern way of finding love just makes me feel so alone. And I can't be the only one sick of staring at my phone. So look up, talk to me, a better way to spend our energy. Just look up, talk to me. We don't have to float alone on the open sea. Don't know that I believe in the old time fable. Everyone has just one true love. All I know is you're across this table, and you're all I'm thinking of. So look up, talk to me, a better way to spend our energy. Just look up, talk to me. We don't have to float alone on the open sea. Talk to me. town, swiping left and swiping right on people you could know.